Hi guys, back with the Savvy Money Show with me, your host Sean. Tonight we're discussing tanker stocks again and oil prices. Now, I know we've done a lot of videos on this, but we keep getting asked for it. If you don't want me to do any more, then please ask me not to do anymore. Now, as I said before, the dividends will be coming up soon, and that is when we will be seeing what we've been waiting for. Now, do not be discouraged if it's not as much as you wanted. Do not be overjoyed if it's more than you expected. And I'll tell you why. But one thing you should know is if you want your stock to go up, you should like and subscribe. Only kidding. But please, like so your video gets out to more people, and subscribe so you get and hit the bell notification so you get notified when more. Now, Nordic American tankers. Now, we know they have the Suez Max, at least 23 of them, holds 100 million gallons of oil. Now, the problem with this is they have a lot of debt. They're planning to pay off the debt. Not planning to pay it off straight away, but they're planning to use some of the money to. Now, it's not a well-run company. I don't trust the CEO one bit. And what you've got to remember is with the tankers is whether it's a Suez Max or a VLC. Right, let's go with a VLC. VLC is, it'll cost you, say, 70 million, 60 to 70 million. In 10 years, it's lost half that value. Within another 10 years, it's lost half the value again. So it degrades with use. And remember that, because it'll be useful later on. And we will go to the front line. Now, as I said, my intrinsic value for this is 1040. That hasn't changed. And that is one of the biggest ones, one of the biggest fleets. But my best one, good old-fashioned DHT, because they are all VLCs. The Suez Max is 100 million gallons. The VLCs are 200 million. It's double the size. And at least 23 of their tankers aren't on long-term contracts. When I first started doing videos about them, now I'm not sure because I haven't gone into their site today, but so it means that as many as are on the fleet of NAT weren't on long-term contracts. Now, we disregarded TK because all of their tankers were on long-term contracts before this oil crisis started, so they couldn't actually take advantage of it. NAT didn't say how many were on long-term contracts before it started, so we didn't know. With these, we do know. I included this in a previous video, which is the first quarter holdings, and it was very good. But remember that, as I said, the oil crisis didn't start during the first quarter. So, and people were expecting these to go to skyrocket. Now, the real thing was going to be in the second and third quarter. Now, a lot of people were asking me about a lot of people were asking me about Euronav, and to tell the truth, I said in the last one, and I stand by it, that their dividend looks so high because if you did a deep dive into it, they are, so it says 12% there in dividend. That's what a dividend should be. But people will say, hold on, they're doing much higher dividend than that. They're doing the biggest dividend there is. Because, and this is why they're a well-run company, but not as well-run as DHT. Unless you do a deep dive into it, you wouldn't have realised that their dividend is because they sold a tanker for a huge profit. And as they said, we don't buy tankers when there's high demand, because then the price of tankers go up. We sell them when there's high demand. What better time to sell a used tanker? You know, the actual value of it has halved, and you've sold it for 40 million more than you paid for it. So they got a good deal, and they've passed that on in the dividend. But don't expect that dividend every quarter. And also, part of that dividend is a final dividend from last year. Now, someone also asked me about hedge betting, and I said you can use any oil tanker stock, oil producing stock, or you can use Phillips, who actually refine the oil. And I also had a couple of others like UGAS, DGAS, and that. I gave a couple of options, and I said USO. USO is at 22. But the funny thing is, when I went to buy it earlier, it was saying you couldn't buy it because of some issue. So let's see. Yeah, temporarily suspended. Try again. The reason I wanted to buy it was to hedge against any issues with the tanker stocks going down. Also, I don't know if you know this, but the energy department of the government, and I said this would happen a week ago, they are buying 1 billion gallons of oil, or 1 billion barrels, of oil for their reserves, because you can't keep propping up with bailouts to these big oil corporations while people on unemployment aren't getting more stimulus, or the stimulus isn't getting increased. People will be up in arms. So how do you do it? You buy oil for reserves. The same thing will happen with the airlines. They will purchase for government employees airline tickets in advance, and I expect that to come out soon. But that's why I tried to buy this. It wouldn't let me. Anyway, there are plenty of ways you can hedge your bet. As I said, UGAS, DGAS, whether you want to bet on it going up, going down. There's there's all different ways, or you can just buy Chevron, ExxonMobil, or Dutch Shell, BP, whichever you prefer. However, remember the reason we're in this: for the dividends. And once the second quarter and third quarter comes out, I'm sure the price will come up. Anyway, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Please let me know what oil tanker stock you have and the reason you bought it, and if you still hold it, if you're looking to add to it as well. Goodbye.